Hey traders, checking into the stock market today. So bulls resilient, maintaining the hourly higher lows, but we're seeing some signs that they are tiring, keeping an eye out for daily consolidation to mark temporary tops. I'll show you what I'm looking at that are giving us those initial signs. So no doubt for the bulls over the last few days, it's been very impressive. The follow through that they've gotten from the FOMC reaction and then multiple days of a higher low and higher high every single day. But again, starting to see some signs of tiring bulls. The first example is we broke the high of Friday with very little bull follow through. The second example is, of course, the amount of upside that we've seen to this point from our recent lows. The third is that we are testing weekly resistance, a zone here. The NASDAQ already broke, but we can see the S&P 500 resistance zone. We have not broken this yet. The crypto space, Bitcoin, and a lot of its peers have already started daily consolidation over the weekend. We know that Bitcoin has led multiple directions on this move over the last month plus. So these are all things that have me not really comfortable making bull entries up at these levels. The way that I've been trading the last few days is bearish and just ensuring that I'm not scaling in. I'm not just scaling into weakness or scaling in to strength, hoping to see weakness. I will either just be looking for top fishing plays or I will focus on the bearish correlations. And the biotech sector has been great for shorts over the last 4 days as it has had a bearish correlation often. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in just a moment. What I am watching for here, there are some potential hourly rising wedges forming on these futures charts. If we look at the S&P 500, draw a resistance line there and a support line here, we can see that that is pretty good in terms of the amount of price action we're seeing around these levels. So plenty of resistance touches, plenty of support touches, and if we're going to start daily consolidation, we would have to confirm an hourly downtrend, which means failing the high of the day and breaking the low of the day. Right now, forgot to mention, it's 3:20 p.m. I have to run a bit earlier than usual at the close today, so I'm realizing just how important the close is for me, trying to do analysis 40 minutes earlier than usual, because we're either going to set our hourly low or high into the close and be shaping up for that possible hourly downtrend, or if we close strong, we're going to close right up near the high of the day. So that last 40 minutes does give us some information as far as momentum, and I'm using this last 40 minutes to determine how much of my bear position am I going to swing into tomorrow. I've got some SPXS and I've got some LABD, and I don't know yet is the answer. I have to see how we fare over the next 30 minutes. The NASDAQ, so same thing with the hourly potential rising wedge. We did break above resistance today, but the support line is coming into play here. And again, the daily time frame just slowing down a little bit. We look at QQQ, there's an upper wick forming. And again, that's why where we close is going to be important here. How much of an upper wick is there? And we had the weekly resistance break at 314. We did get over that level by over 1%. But again, just looking for daily consolidation. Keeping in mind, once we start daily consolidation, then what? Well, we're looking for a daily higher low. We got a lot of space for it to form. The S&P 500 can pull back 4% from here and still be in a daily uptrend. So we're going to be watching first hourly oversold conditions on our strongest names that had bullish reactions to earnings like Tesla and Apple. So our lead bulls, we're going to be watching first hourly oversold conditions, which is a back burner trade. Google ChartGuys back burner if you don't know what that means, or check out our free ebook. I'll post a link in the description of this video. But that's what the ebook looks like, back burner strategy. So the strongest names are going to be scouting first hourly oversold conditions, looking for daily higher lows. So I am bearish in the short term, looking for daily consolidation, and then I will be bullish as long as daily uptrends remain. Keeping in mind, a lot of weekly charts are still in downtrends. So if you say, are you bullish or bearish? My answer is, what time frame are you talking about? SMH, continuation for the bulls here. Hourly, higher low, trying to be set. Depends on how we close. If the lows of today break tomorrow, daily consolidation will be underway. And that's what we're keeping an eye out for. Tesla, big follow through for the bulls to start the day, but it does look like a little bit of a volume climax. Highest volume in the last few weeks aside from the earnings reaction day. And it's a bearish reversal candle. So we gave back a lot of that profit, morning pop and a 15-minute downtrend ever since then. I guess it got a little bit of a trend change there with no follow through. Hourly bear flag. But again, we're going to watch for a pullback to a daily higher low with tons of space for it to form, watching hourly oversold conditions as they approach. Healthcare started daily consolidation already. That's another factor. A lot of our sectors already started daily consolidation today. XLF, XLV, even IWM broke the low of Friday. So the next key level for me on XLV is 129.92. If the bulls are to keep their complete control, that level needs to hold. So we're going to be watching that in the short term. The financial sector, daily consolidation, certainly very minimal at this point. Anything above 32.42 is a higher low. IWM, you can see we broke the low Friday, but here we are closing strong. IWM strength is notable. Checking in on some of the growth names. Snow, anything under 161.30 is a daily lower high. PLTR, right off the resistance line. We've been watching this rising wedge for a bit here. CRWD, upper wick forming. Anything under 194 is a daily lower high. So these growth names are keeping an eye out for those daily lower highs to potentially be shaping up. Keeping in mind that the broader market saw higher highs for the vast majority of all major sectors over the last 3 days. These names are clearly standing out, having not done so yet because of how much we pulled back before that bull move took place. So I am scouting growth names for weakness, which is one of the reasons that I've been scouting the biotech sector for weakness. So the last few days, the biotech sector has had a pattern where we dump on the morning and then bounce in the afternoon. And today's different. Today we're shaping up to close weak. So I'm holding that swing. Pretty much the last 4 days, the bear, you can see the dump and then big bounce, dump and bounce. Dump and big bounce. So I've been playing it bearish and it's been working. There's been nice bear trades for it over the last few days, but I have the mindset, I'm looking for weekly consolidation because we've seen a higher low every week for 6 weeks. This is a head and shoulders pattern on the daily, which is on the verge of confirming, and XBI divided by SPY already confirmed a daily head and shoulders and has been showing us this relative weakness for weeks. So for me, every day trade that I've been taking bearish over the last 3 days, I want to swing it. I want to see weakness to swing it to look for weekly consolidation and bigger reward on that trade. And by the end of every day, it's, gave back some day trade gains again. All right, sell it. Not going to swing this time. But today, it's looking like that's going to be different. So I do have a biotech swing position. I attempted the bear entry this morning. Was green briefly, stopped out. And the re-entry that I made was on this 5-minute bear flag here into the end of the day. Just recognizing, again, during this period of time, very significant weakness as the broader market bounced. So I'm positioned for weekly consolidation in the biotech sector for a swing position, and we need a break of support that's being tested right now. 79.41 is our daily higher low. 79.29 needs to break right behind it. So those levels in play tomorrow. Solar sector, daily inside bar. This is another one we're going to scout hourly oversold conditions after such a significant bull move. So not close to shaping up, but we'll be watching for it. If we see a bear break of 82.70 tomorrow, daily consolidation will be underway. The burden's obviously on bears to prove to us on all these names that daily consolidation is shaping up. CCJ, daily consolidation is already underway. Again, this weekly equilibrium is shaping up to be a beauty. Just tighter and tighter. Anything under 28.28 is a lower high. Then we look for a higher low compared to 20.34. And we're going to be looking for a break of this range. If we set the lower high and pull back, probably early September, but no reason to try and guess. We'll just take it one day at a time. But scouting a weekly lower high and continued tightening range compared to 28.28. Seeing a bit more weakness here in the biotech sector into the end of the day. So I will be swinging. And it's a swing size position. Again, what I always try and do is have a day trade and then I sell partial to give myself a better break even and more profit cushion to work with. And then the swing position is always smaller because I have less control in what the markets do overnight. The dollar is still weak. No sign of a bounce. We are looking for the weekly higher low, but we are in a 4-hour and daily downtrend, which is our short-term guide. So we're looking, it's the exact opposite of what I'm looking for on the S&P 500. Watching for the weekly lower high on the S&P 500, but we're in an hourly and a daily uptrend. I broke my toy. So now, gold and silver getting follow through on the daily. 4-hour uptrend is our guide here. Weekly bounce getting nice follow through. Going to look for a daily higher low next time we consolidate. Plenty of space for it to form. Silver looking a little bit more toppy, but again, solid bounce. Going to look for the daily higher low. We will eventually need the weekly trend change to shape up for confidence in a longer term shift. We need to see the miners break bull. They have not done so yet. We have not gotten over the high of July 22nd. And if we look at our metals, what were we doing the high of July 22nd? We've gotten well over those levels. So it's a notable difference between the miners and the metals. And if I'm a metal bull, I want to see these miners play catch up and get over that 26.54 resistance level. Oil, daily trend change confirmed by less than $1. So it was this inverse head and shoulders, and it did confirm, but zero follow through. So a trend change with zero follow through means zoom out and scout a potential flag. This is a potential weekly bear flag. We have a 4-hour downtrend as our guide now. And it's just a question of, can the bears follow through and break 93 support? We actually already did today. So we are just looking back at that 88.23 low. And there is a resistance zone 101 to 102 now, where there is a triple top on the daily. So very clear resistance zone and heading back down towards support. Natural gas, daily higher low trying to shape up here. So here's an example of getting familiar with a name. When you watch it and you trade it, and I haven't been trading natural gas, but I've been watching it and charting it for years, and I've gotten familiar with flags confirming leading to reversals. We've talked about this in the past. Daily bear flag confirming with zero follow through led to the reversal of this very massive bounce. It's happened so many times. I'm forgetting where there was a weekly one too. Where was the weekly bear flag? I forget. Anyways, it happened on the 4-hour. The 4-hour confirmed a bear flag, and I was live streaming this morning saying keep an eye out because we're scouting that daily higher low, and if this 4-hour bear flag goes straight into a bounce and gets back over $8, we're going to be looking for that to potentially mark the shift where we look for the daily higher low. So natural gas is really good at having one directional control that is then reverses on one final break. So that bear break was the last the bears had, and they used up all of their energy and they were tired, and the bulls then took over. So really nice example of knowing what to be looking for because it's natural gas. If that were Apple, it wouldn't have been the same setup for me. It's just knowing that natural gas loves to do that. So now if we get bounce follow through and a 4-hour trend change to the bulls, we're going to scout a lower high, anything under 957. Knowing full well that natural gas is definitely volatile enough to see continuation. And I would still say it's just barely hanging on to that possibility of being a cup and handle. Any lower from here and it's off the table for me. But that bullish reversal candle off daily EMA 12, it's still on the table. Let's go to the 2-day time frame. Let's look at our retracement size. Is it a possible bull flag? Yes. All right. Hope you had a good day. We'll see how we close. Want to see the S&P 500 obviously close as weak as possible if looking to swing bearish. Want to see the biotech sector back down towards the low of the day. Currently double bottom at that daily support in the 79.40s. And so because that 79.40 support held, we right now have a bull correlation forming on the biotech sector on the very short-term time frames. But the last 5 minutes, because that support held, the correlation is shifting from a bear correlation for hours to now a multiple minute bull correlation, all because that support held. The biggest shifter of correlations, whether it's bull or bear, is a key support or resistance level holding or rejecting the price. Do good things. Hope you are well.
Had a blue heron come here and die. Could tell something was wrong. It was standing here in sleep mode, and usually they don't let you get anywhere near them, and it didn't care where I was at all. But this is day 2. It's very quickly decomposing. You can see its leg in there. Crepe myrtle gets real droopy when it gets all these flowers on it. We are in let everything become a jungle mode. All these are ground cherries that I planted last year. Didn't plant any this year, but they're all coming up and giving some solid fruits. If you've never had those, they taste like candy. They're just little tiny tomatillo-like things, but very sweet. Speaking of tomatillo, looks like that's a volunteer. This big poke weed is massive, but it fell over here. It's split in the middle. It got too big. It's twice the size of last year, but starts from scratch each year. So you can see how significant some of these plants are able to pump growth into one season. Love the drooping crepe myrtle. It rained yesterday, so it was extra heavy with the water and the flowers. And the flowers leave this magical path